Hi, everybody. So I am calling from my very cool cob house that I just moved into. It's made out of clay and wood. If you see, it's really beautiful. And what inspired me to make this post was just since I've been on this eco village, I've been feeling a sense of calm that I haven't felt in a really long time. And so I wanted to just share a little bit of a theory that I have called the four corners of healing, or the corners of moving trauma out of our body. So it doesn't matter what issue you have, and it also doesn't matter where you are in processing that issue. These four corners, by placing your issue in the middle of that, help start moving that energy through and help start resolving it. So I will list them all and then I'll go through each of them just so for you to have a little bit of a sense of what they are. So they are community, nature, storytelling, and rhythm. So the first one is rhythm. Rhythm is dance, music, swimming, biking, anything that gets your body moving, because we have this like idea of like trauma is this elusive, scary thing that happened somewhere in your past and it's haunting you. What trauma really is it's just stuck energy in your body. Because when we go through something, we process an emotion, the emotion goes through its whole cycle. What trauma does when something happens too fast, too soon, too quickly, it stuck. It gets stuck in our body. We can't process it. A car crash happens. You don't have time to feel into what even happened. You're just in shock mode and you're trying to survive. And if you're not processing through that emotional story, it ends up getting stuck in your body that when you hear a door slam too loudly, it might shake you up inside because that story is still trapped in your body. So rhythm literally moves it out. It's literally taking your stuck energy and it's bringing in the rhythm, causing that stuck energy to start moving and start to slowly release and expand. Okay, so rhythm is dancing. You can move your body to the point of that stuck energy. You can sing to that stuck energy and just the vibration of your voice starts moving that. You can go to a concert and even stand near the amplifiers and feel that vibration happening through your body, and that will move it. Okay, getting in touch in your body, where do you feel that stuck energy, and literally moving it. Swimming also, biking, running, anything that gets that energy moving, going for walks, hiking is super healing for the brain. Okay, number 2 is storytelling. In the olden days, it used to be we would stand around a fire and we would have these stories that we would speak of our myths, our folklore, our religion. All of that would also help us connect to this feeling of belonging, connect to this feeling of heritage, and connect to this universal human story. And we still have that today. Jung also spoke a lot about that, the archetype, the hero's journey, that you are part of something bigger than yourself. Today, also therapy is that, where you get to tell your story and bring meaning to your story. You get to be the narrator of your narrative that brings the power back to you and helps you also resolve those stories. It helps you also resolve those dark corners that you don't get to share, that you don't get to speak about, by sharing it, even through creative writing or poetry slams or comedy, being a comedian. That's all versions of storytelling. When we reclaim our story, we get to bring meaning to it that might not necessarily be there. And then we can help resolve it. Really unfathomable becomes something that's digestible by the way that we tell it over. Okay, so you get to choose to be the hero of your story instead of the victim of it, if you choose to share it. Journal writing also, if you're not ready yet to share it in the public sphere. That's all helpful to the storytelling, to the catharsis, to the resolving it, and to the recording of it, that your story matters and that you are important and what happened to you is real and is valid. Okay, number 3 is nature. The closer you are to nature, the more regulated you are going to be for a number of reasons. So if you want to just hear for a second, these sounds here, being exposed to it 2 hours a day, actually lowers your blood pressure. It re-regulates your nervous system. Taking your shoes off and just putting your bare feet on ground. Also, it totally takes out any toxins in your body, which is crazy because we're on so many medications, but just literally putting your feet on the earth, it grounds your energy and it takes out any, and it brings in any anti-inflammatories, because all sicknesses really start from inflammation. So it just takes out those toxins in the body, takes out the stuffiness, it takes out the anxiety, the dread, the fear, and it just brings your body back to its natural state. Okay, so as close as you can to nature as possible. If you're living in the city, if you're living in an apartment, take that time to go outside without your phone and just put your feet on the ground. Okay, if you can't do that, put on nature sounds in your room, in your apartment. Get yourself, your body is designed to be outside. It's a very new thing, us humans being indoors all the time. So just get yourself, plug yourself back into your natural state and have yourself really, as much as you can, connected to the natural world. The last thing is community. So just like the natural world is your natural state, on an energetic level, community is the web around you that's invisible. I'll say this all the time, but it is an illusion that we're individuals or that you're one organism living on your own. You are actually part of a greater web. So imagine that instead of every goods and services that you received, that you were actually connected to the person behind it. You would become aware of how much your needs are not met by you. Even if you're Mr. Amazon and you get everything through that and everything's just one click away, you're connecting to people. So if we just brought that to the surface and said, okay, instead of buying milk at, the store with the retailer and the distributor, like you actually found your local farmer and you had a connection with them and you brought milk and you had that order with them and you spoke to them. Imagine if there was somebody in your town who was really good at creative projects. And when you wrote something, a poem, a story, a song, and you send it to them and you get their feedback. Okay, community is there to see you. Community is there to reflect you. Community is there for also that basic survival reason of if you die, somebody's going to notice, and not 3 weeks later because of the smell, but right there and then. Okay, community is the invisible web pulsating around you. If you give birth, there's a meal train getting set up of people taking care of you, making sure there's food there. You also find belonging and roles by being part of a community, by showing up, by sharing. If we all just kind of let ourselves ease into this community mindset, we would realize that the ways that I'm in surplus, somebody else is in minus. And the way that I'm in minus, somebody else is in surplus. So therefore, it's not on me to become an expert at everything. Rather, it's on us to realize what's needed and what's extra and what's given and what's receiving, and to constantly shift that energy. And notice that it's a constant shift of energy, it's a constant movement. And by that, by me giving to the community, helps resolve my own stories, because trauma is moments where you weren't supported. So by giving, you're actually bringing in the energy of support, bringing it back to you and healing that. Okay? By receiving also, it's bringing in that trauma around not having safety and realizing there is safety here. By knowing that you're going to be able to give, you can also bring in the ability and the opportunity that you're going to be able to receive. And that constant network there, that energy of flowing, is moving through you. So last time again, the 4 corners of healing is community, nature, rhythm, and storytelling. And I would love to hear from you guys, which corner in your life that you would like to develop, which corner in your life here that you don't see that you're doing. And what would you like to do today to start moving that and bringing that into your life? I'd love to hear how it works for you. So please reach out, please comment on the post and share to anyone who needs it. Anyways, wishing you all love and have a great day.